idea here, I cooked up in a couple of seconds. Again, not bragging, just using a system that anyone can use. We talked about rhythm. We talked about notes. We had some power chords put on top of that rhythm. We followed a simple scale up on one string, and that enabled us to create riff after riff after riff, really. But now let's add some structure to it, which is really easy. Because that's what I do every single time I create a riff. I come up with a rhythm, then I decide a kind of a mood, which is the scale, which is either blues scale or minor scale or Dorian or major, or this was major, by the way. Right? And then I add that to it, and I start, creating some ideas on top of that, using that. Always starting on one when it's rhythm, always starting on the tonic, the main chord. If it's C major, I start on C. If it's E blues, I start on E, and so on. And then I add the structure. It's the last thing, because let's just say I created something like... a new thing has to happen there. But I need to break out of because otherwise I just have a little loop, basically. Right? It's like a record that just keeps running the same pattern. If you are not, above 35 years old, you won't know what I'm talking about. But it's just repeating itself. It's like, so we need to create a full loop. We use our idea here, and we create that structure that the human mind and body really likes, because we like predictability, and we like unpredictability, and we like those two things at the same time. We like to watch an old film or movie that we watched like 10 years ago, and we've forgotten a lot about it, so we can't really remember, but we remember that it was good. So we know that, and all Hollywood movies, they follow a certain recipe, right? They all have a hero. There's all a main character. That's an element we all like. Of course, Claus, but that's human, right? We like that it has a main character. Most movies have that because we like that. It's not because that's just how films are made. It's because we need that. We need a main character to identify with. And in that way, you can split apart making movies or the different elements of a story, so you can learn the craft of creating a story that works and add your creativity on top of that to create something that's magic, right? But that's what we're doing here. So, structure. After I went... I like that idea, right? But then as soon as I do that, I go, what happens now? Because I played A and B and then A, and then I just try stuff out, because now I have like a chain of stuff that happens, and I already start associating at that point, because now logic enters my mind. I need a place to go that's, and I surprise people a little bit, but I still want that logical. I'm out of A major here, that's why. So I start looking at my A major scale, and I say, okay, D major. That's part of A major, that's the subdominant, so I do that. We need a little theory here as well, which we'll teach in the course. Okay, and then I try my D, do a little sus4 there. Right? So now I have a full circle there, but I want to create an even bigger circle, because now I have A, B, A, C, right? I got A, right? And then B, and then A, and then C. And I go back to A, and C, and B, right? And then I hear something new. I'm not playing... Because if I do, I just have a repetitive loop there. But I want to create an even bigger loop, right? That consists of two, A, B, A, C. And then A, B, A, D to create an even bigger loop. Just that little variation will create a whole loop before we return back. And I'm going to go for the dominant theory again that we're going to discuss in the course. But right, so I go first, and then right, and then I go, and then right. So I go to E, or maybe I could just do the same thing as on D, but I just go up. That's pretty cool. And just hear the whole loop now. Now we have a huge loop, a complete. This might be a verse, because you could sing when I go. Right, when I do that, you could and then melody right there. I might, stay there to kind of indicate that this is really the end. Right? So a whole loop, a whole riff now, and it makes sense. Oh, he's know what he's doing, right? It's composing, but you don't need to come up with that. That's just a structure. We could have stuck with the A, B, A, C, and then have that loop running. We could also just, A, B, and then we could change the A and change the B. So we have like a, right, and then go A, no B, right, and then we could change the A the other time around. We change this and go, right, something like that, or. Right, and then go to D. Right, so we go. Now I have A, B, A with a variation, and then we have C. Right, you see that? So I have another A. I have a different A. It kind of leads up to D, and then. And I could change that again. I could change the second time around I play the A, I could change it to an A with another variation so that leads up to E, for instance. Maybe, or just random stuff here. That's not in the scale. Oh, right. Okay, let me see. I hope you get my drift here, but the main idea is that you use the structure, you work with the structure, you go A, B, A, C, A, B, A, D, as we did in the beginning, and then you can start changing the A into something else every other time. So you get an A, B, A, C, A, B, A variation, and so on, right? So you work in structures, and I got plenty of those for you, those structures. And when you use those, you really get kind of boxes that you can put your riffs into and create really cool stuff. But that happens automatically when you compose. Once you've learned the system, gone through all three stages of rhythm, notes, structure, and you become good at every single stage, then suddenly it's just automatic in your brain. And that's how the creative process looks. And then you don't come to me and say, oh, look at the album we created, or look at all these songs we created, because you got 500 of them, right? You only show me those where you really, oh, there's something here. I really like this riff for some reason. It sounds new, sounds fresh. Let me work some more into that. And then you really spend time with the notes, the structure, and the rhythm. Once you come up with something that sounds special, and then your whole focus changes from just creating something that sounds like music to creating something that sounds like genius, which is the next level. But you can only do that once you master the basic system here.